Hello and good afternoon, my guys, gals, brewskis, and brewskettes. My name is JDog845, and today I'm coming at y'all with another For Honor reaction video. Yes, finally, Year 6 Season 2 is here. I've already seen about 56.5 minutes of the live stream, so I've already seen the pirate nerfs, I've seen the bloodlust nerfs, and a little bit of a buff, to pirate as well, but mainly she got nerfs. I know people are going to be probably really happy about that, myself included. But what we're here to watch today, this is actually a re-recording of my reaction to the Conqueror rework. Specifically, I know Sheldon got his revamped rework as well, but I don't play Sheldon. I don't even have Sheldon. So I'm more curious about Conqueror and his rework, as I'm sure most of you are all as well. I'm a rep 32 Conqueror on For Honor as well, so he's also my highest rep. And I just wanted to re-record. I don't want to beat around the bush or lie to you guys. I've already reacted to this. But I just wanted to re-record it because the quality the first time I recorded it was absolutely atrocious, and it was horrible. It was basically like a PowerPoint presentation, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So I double-checked everything, and it seems to be recording very smoothly now, and it seems to be up to my standards that I can afford at the moment. So without further ado, let's get right back into the Conqueror rework. Hope you enjoy.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so now we're gonna have Conquer and Sheldon revamps.
Ooh. Now, I believe we're actually doing a video for this that you recorded, JC, right?
Yeah, so I recorded with those videos with Francis, who some of you might be familiar with on the Warriors end. So a really big thanks to him. And Max, I guess you can start the videos now.
We'll be back.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Conquer and Sheldon showcases. So we're gonna start with Conqueror first
his hair, dude.
to show you what has changed from the live version to the testing ground, or from the testing ground version and the live version to this new version that we're gonna be shipping in this new season. So first we have the full block stance. So Conqueror is really known for his full block stance. Very, very useful move. He has a lot of things he can do out of it, but the issue that we have on live right now is that it's a little bit too strong. There's a bit of different things. So we're trying to buff it in a way that makes sense. So the first thing that you can do with Conqueror right now, which is really interesting, is that you can cancel the recovery of any attack. So I can throw out a light, go into superior block, I can throw a heavy, go into full block stance. I can do a side dodge bash into a superior block.
That's solid.
You can cancel basically any single one of your attacks.
I feel like he could already do that,
block, very well. So that really helps you catch dodge attacks, helps you react to some people. So that should be really, really interesting. The other thing that's kind of interesting is that before, when you used to block attacks in full block stance, you would get your own stamina drained. So right now I can go into full block, and then see I'm blocking attacks, and no stamina drain whatsoever.
That's a solid change.
Really help Conqueror be more defensive in a lot of situations.
I think it used to get rid of like close to a third of your stamina if you're all guarding as Conqueror. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm rep 32 Conqueror. I know I should know this, but I haven't played Conqueror in a while. I'm really looking forward to this rework though. I'm super excited. But I think it used to get rid of like a third of your stamina if you were like all guarding an attack. So yeah, that's a really nice change that they made it just not cost any stamina when you're all guarding an attack, which is fantastic. I love it.
Without sacrificing all of his stamina. Next up, we have two new moves. Well, one new and one a little bit less new, but rearranged. So we have Flail Uppercut. So Flail Uppercut is now performed whenever you do a shield bash. You can do shield bash with heavy like this. You can do it off a side dodge, no problem. You can also do it when you superior block somebody. So let's go to selection there, or we can do from a top attack as well. I'm going to superior block while I dodge. Like this, right? So this attack...
Yes, you saw that correctly. Conqueror has deflects. I mean, he already kind of did have deflects. I mean, I'm sure you could still... Because what you would be able to do back then is, like, you know, superior block and dodge into an attack and then shield bash. I'm sure you can still do that. He didn't demonstrate it in this, but I'm pretty sure you can, you know, still deflect and shield bash. But now you have the option to deflect and do a flail uppercut for 17 damage. And people were kind of upset that it was only 17 damage as a heavy, but I thought it was good because, I mean, as Conqueror, he's a bash hero. You know, he's going to be bashing you a lot, and if someone's going to be bashing you a lot, it's necessary that they're only going to be dealing 17 damage, because if you're fighting someone that's just going to bash you all day, they're not going to kill you as quickly as they would if it was a heavy. So, yeah.
Deals quite a bit of damage.
So I think it's a necessary.
The beautiful thing is that it's on heavy input and it can execute. So when you're in a 1v1 situation, you want to use it.
And it can execute, which I was super happy about, and I'm sure many people are happy about it as well. But I was saying, like, I think it's a necessary damage number for a heavy if someone's just going to keep bashing you all day. But yeah, it can execute now, which is what a lot of people were really upset about, that the Scoutage collection, the all guard into like heavy, did not do in the testing grounds, and people are really happy that that the deflect into heavy can now execute now, which is super cool. Which is, I guess, kind of like Kyoshin as well, because, you know, he all guards, he can press heavy, zone or light, and then with a heavy from all guard, he can execute. So kind of like Kyoshin, I guess you can think about it, but it's a deflect instead of a. Well, it can be a deflect or an all guard, which is interesting. It's cool.
Superior block people, or you hit them with a shield bash, to be able to really deal a little bit more damage and execute at the same time, which is one of the top requests we've had from the testing grounds. People really wanted to have that to be able to execute. At the same time, we also have Scottish Collection that we had in the previous testing grounds, which is whenever you superior block an attack and you press light, you go into this full 360 zone that's unblockable.
And I don't think they mentioned it in this video, but what the problem with Scoutage Collection before was that even with like Lawbringer, you could dodge out of Scoutage Collection, or some other characters you'd be able to even parry it. I hope that that's not the issue now, because that completely eliminates the purpose of Scoutage Collection. The fact that it's a retaliation attack and that it's guaranteed, it's unblockable, it's supposed to hit multiple opponents, when it has the possibility of not hitting anybody in a duel situation. Because I think Lawbringer could dodge out of it. I think he could parry it even, and it was bad. But that could just be because Conqueror has secretly good recovery. But I hope that they fix that. You know, I hope that they fix the tracking. I hope they made it to where it's a guaranteed attack. Scoutage Collection, I hope that they made it a guaranteed attack. But we won't know until Testing Grounds drops, and I'm super excited to be playing this new Conqueror in Testing Grounds to see how he plays. So I hope that they fix that.
Hits everybody around you, has really good trajectories. So you can do it off of any superior block, so off of full block or off of this as well. And the other change that we've done is that you can also do it after any shield bash as well. So the reasoning here is that we wanted the Conqueror to be able to have options for both 1v1
so the
and
light does 15
like
and the heavy does 17.
Outnumbered,
so it's not
so that you can actually start to use your shield bashes and use a bit more of your kit depending on the situation and not be locked. Right, so it's always more choice. We want to have a lot more choice for Conqueror to be able to get into those really, really cool, interesting moments and give the hero a lot more strength. We also have the zone attack. So the zone attack has changed a little bit from live. You used to be able to hold it. It had superior block while you were doing it. It was a bit too strong. One of the bigger problems was that if you were facing somebody that would throw an attack, you could zone attack. And if they let the attack go, you would superior block it. If they feinted it and tried to do like a light or a guard break, you would interrupt them with your zone attack. So the only actual solution to it was you always had to do heavy feint parry all the time on it. So we wanted to get rid of that a little bit. So now like a zone attack is just you hit it once, now I'm holding the buttons and it doesn't loop. But in exchange, it deals a bit more damage. So it does 15. And it can also now chain, right? So you can do this into that and you can keep going. So that's super interesting. It initiates chains. You can go into your shield bashing chains, whatever you want to do.
See, like that. Basically, what they did about the zone is that you can't loop it, you can't throw it over and over again. You can't chain into it, which is great, but I don't think it has the all guard property anymore, so you can't block it. So basically, it's like a light or a heavy, essentially. Like it's basically just another move. So it's not nearly as defensive as it used to be. It's certainly a lot more offensive, though. I don't know. I don't think his zone is going to be that good, though. If anything, I'd probably say the most useful Conqueror zone will be is probably in the minion lane to kill minions. But even then, I don't think it's that good in a duel situation. I guess maybe to throw off like your opponent's timing if it's a light or a heavy, because I think a light is slightly faster than the zone, but I don't know. I'll probably still throw it out of instinct.
So you can actually use it a little bit more offensively now.
But I love that it's chainable though.
Speaking of chain bash, so the bash that the shield bash that Conqueror has in chains now is still 800 milliseconds, but the beauty of it is you can now feint it. So you can go into heavy, feint bash.
That's
so a lot of the complaints that we
insane,
had, a lot of the feedback that we got from the testing grounds is that Conqueror didn't have enough pressure and offense in 1v1 because that shield bash was not really feintable. It was fast, but it was not feintable. You couldn't really do anything with it, and there wasn't really a mix-up around with it. So this time we made it in...
Yeah, pretty much the mix-up around it was that it was a 50-50 on whether or not the Conqueror was going to throw either a shield bash combo, keep on the pressure, or throw a heavy to track you. But the problem about the heavies was that they didn't have the best tracking. You couldn't always catch them, and I guess with this, they just kind of went a very different direction. It really caught me off guard when they threw that, it was a feintable bash. I was thinking, it's kind of like Warmonger, but she also has a feintable bash too. So I thought for a split second, I thought he was the first hero that had a feintable bash, and I was like, no, that's not true. But I guess he's actually the first hero that has a shield that's feintable, I guess. I don't know. But very, very interested to see how that's going to work out. He's certainly... more mix-up intensive in that regard, and for that I can really respect it because I love mix-up intensive heroes, and I think that might just make me like Conqueror even more, so I'm pretty interested in that as well. Already
like
slightly better
move,
than
which
he
is
was
a bash
before.
that can feint, so you can do whatever you want with it. It's super strong, and the beauty of it too is that it also goes into Scottish Collection, or it
Scottish
also
Collection.
goes into Fade Uppercut as well. So
by the way, I know it's Scoutage Collection. I'm just making fun of the way JC is saying it. I know it's Scoutage Collection, not Scottish Collection. Okay, calm your tits.
all these things mesh together quite well. That's super interesting. Another thing to note is that Scottish Collection and Flayed Uppercut both chain. They initiate chains, so you can go back into your chains. They don't go into the shield bash because we want to try to avoid having unblockable into unblockable for bashes specifically going back to back.
I think y'all are gonna like this.
So we have that little bit of a limitation, but as you'll see, Conqueror's chain offense is also much stronger.
Very unblockable.
So the next thing we want to look at is the chain heavies.
Here we go.
So Conqueror's heavies and chains were a little bit lackluster. They were just infinite, didn't really do much. So now they are always unblockable from every side. Conqueror has an unblockable heavy chain.
Oh, that cracks me up every time. Yes, Conqueror has incredible unblockable pressure, and y'all are all fucked. I'm so freaking excited for this. This is so cool. This is going to be absolutely terrifying in 4v4s. People did not like this either. Because of the fact that they knew that it was going to be very difficult to deal with. So yeah, in a duel setting, it's going to be very pressuring. In 4v4s, it's going to be very pressuring. But the fact that it's just back to back to back to back, it's infinite. Oh my god, he could throw a shield bash in the... Oh my god, I gotta watch that again, still. God, that's so beautiful.
Cluster, they were just infinite, didn't really do much. So now they are always unblockable from every side. Conqueror has an unblockable heavy chain. Now they're all 800 milliseconds.
I love that so much.
They're really strong. They do 27 damage each.
Oh,
so
I love
that by
it.
itself
No matter
should
what
give
side,
Conk
it's
a
27.
lot of pressure. You can use those when you're outnumbered to hit
And
people
he can
around
feint
you.
them as well.
Super, super, super good.
It's amazing.
So it's very interesting there. For the neutral heavies,
So
now
excited.
the damage has been normalized. So normally, like on the sides now, you do 24, and on top you do 27.
Yeah.
Before Conk had slightly lower damage values, so we really
So they
normalized
buffed his
those.
damage a little
so the
bit.
damage is normalized with the rest of the cast, so Conk really doesn't deal less damage in this case. When you charge the heavy, so the beauty of it now is that you charge for a lot less longer. You normally used to charge for 1000 ms for a full second. Now you only charge for 600, so it charges much faster. But to compensate the damage...
See, this is cool and all. I like how they made it faster and everything, but what else is the point if you're not going to trade with somebody? Because what I wish that they would bring back about Conqueror with this is the superior block property. And if you look at his guard, he is guarding up top, but it's not white, which means that it's not going to be guarded. I don't think anyway, right? Is he going to let it fly? Yeah, so he just let it fly, and it never turned white. So what that means is that there's no superior block property, which is what he currently has in the game without the testing grounds. And what that meant is that if someone did like a roll catcher, for example, that came from the top to try to close the distance, you could trade with the opponent with that charged heavy with that superior block property. They got rid of that, and that's something that I wish that they would bring back, because who's going to like stand in front of your face as you charge up the heavy when they can just light you out of it? You know, like, you're completely defenseless, you can't do anything about it. It's like offensive stance for Highlander, you know, like it's not really it's like a slower offensive stance, basically, if you've ever played Highlander, and it's not that good in my opinion. So I don't think I'm gonna use it that much. If anything, actually, if anything, maybe if I get a wall splat or if I GB someone, throw them to the wall, get a wall splat, maybe I can charge it up and throw it to the top if that's guaranteed. I have no idea. We won't know till the testing grounds drop, but other than that, I don't really see how it can be really optimized in a duel setting without any walls nearby. So that was kind of like my only complaint with this, but let's continue. I'd love to hear your thoughts after all this.
It's at 28. It used to be above 30, so that was like a little bit too strong. So with that around, like a Conqueror can still charge. It's a lot easier to charge. You get into those mix-up a little bit easier. You can like start to initiate them externally if you want to do a bash, defeat a lot of revenge. So that works really, really well. The other thing that's super interesting too is that Conqueror can now actually feint his heavies. So you can throw a heavy and feint it.
You can already do that.
It also applies to the heavies and chains.
Before, you couldn't.
So previously, Conk could only really feint his heavies into a superior block, right? So you can go to full block stance, you can still do that, but now you can actually do heavy feint.
And this is something I mentioned. I'm sorry I keep pausing it. Y'all are probably annoyed as shit, but what I like about these reworks is that they keep some of the old quirks from the original moveset from these heroes. Like, Conqueror can still soft feint into his all guard, but now he can also feint, you know, so they keep adding on to it to make make his moveset a little bit more interesting and more up to date with everyone else in the roster. So I like that they kept the soft feint into all guard. I'm still gonna do that on Instinct too, by the way.
In guard break and actually do these things, you can do heavy feint, do a parry, into whatever you want to do. It works much better. So that's quite interesting, and it works really, really well. And the last thing I want to point out is that in the last testing grounds, Conqueror had removed his infinite light chains. We put them back, but we put them back exactly how they were on live, meaning that if you do the same direction,
I'm so happy they brought them back.
Still very slow. We wanted to make that change so that Conqueror wasn't really negatively impacted.
I'm super happy they brought that back, dude.
Which was a bit of a problem in the testing grounds. But at the same time, we want to make it a bit easier for some players to react to those infinite lights. It can be kind of overwhelming at lower skill levels to have infinite lights in all three directions constantly. So by doing that, at least you only have to really care about two, because if you use a previous direction, it's a lot easier to block. Yeah. So that's about it for Conqueror. So next up, we're going to look at Sheldon.
Alrighty. So, again, sorry it took a little bit longer to record, and I'm sorry I paused it so many times. I kind of wanted to add more inputs from my previous recording into this one that I didn't get to say in the first one. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed. That was absolutely insane. What really caught my eye the most and what interests me the most is the fact that he's able to feint his bash now, which is not as... Okay, so he can't feint his neutral one, as far as JC has shown, but you can definitely feint your combo shield bash, which is interesting. And they brought back the infinite lights, which I'm super happy about. I've missed those so much. That really ties to the flow and kind of the original moveset of Conqueror, which I really love as well. They also kept the soft feint into all guard as well, which I really love, which also ties to the original moveset of Conqueror, which is what he was already able to do. And I really love and am super excited for the infinite unblockable frickin' heavies. The undodgeable infinite heavies, which is what they had before, I would probably see as too pressuring. Well, either way, I feel like it would be too pressuring. Infinite undodgeables or Infinite Heavies. I could see it being problematic in both scenarios, but it's certainly refreshing to see something from that kind of come back. Because the first testing grounds, they were on all undodgeable heavies, infinite. Second testing grounds, the last most recent one, excluding this one, they were just regular infinite heavies, couldn't do anything. They were undodgeable or unblockable, very boring, not really good tracking. And this one they're doing all unblockables, which are faintable. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. Those are my three most favorite things about it, is the infinite heavies, the infinite lights, and the faintable bash, which is what I think most people are going to be really excited about. And other than that, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm really curious as to what y'all think about this rework, whether or not you think it's broken, whether you think it needs to be even stronger. I personally would love to see the really fast combo shield bash come back and maybe work around that moveset, or that avenue a little bit more rather than the feintable bash. The feintable bash is certainly an interesting idea, but I was really hoping that they would bring back the fast combo bash, because it's always been super slow. I don't know what the milliseconds were before the testing grounds, but now it's 800 ms. I don't know if it's faster. I feel like it's faster. It looks faster. But anyway, I hope that they would bring that back. I want y'all to let me know y'all's thoughts in the comment section below, what you think about the Conqueror rework, what you think about this live stream, what you think about For Honor in general, and let me know how your day was. I'm really curious. So I upload every single day. I upload shorts trying to get into For Honor with my rifle. Well, actually almost every day. But hope you all enjoy. This has been JDog845 reacting to the For Honor Warriors Den Year 6 Season 2 reveal live stream of June 9th, 2022 from Ubisoft. And I will see you guys and gals and brewskis and brewskettes in the next episode. Peace. Love you guys.